All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are mapping out the collective psyche of the modern generation. We're going on a fascinating journey that starts with some absurd, highly specific internet humor, like the incredibly broken ways people watch content online these days, and ends with profound, structural, existential dread. It's going to be quite a ride, so let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive into our roadmap. First up, digital viewing habits. Second, surviving college. Third, the Arby's phenomenon. And finally, real Gen Z fears.
Section 1. Digital viewing habits.
So we're taking a really close look at how young adults actively avoid sitting in silence. I mean, there are these absolutely hilarious tribes of digital consumption. You've got the mini player watcher shrinking videos into a tiny corner to give it maybe 8% of their attention while doom scrolling somewhere else. Then there's the TV Autoplay Zombie. This person leaves the TV running to an audience of 0 just to fill a lonely room with algorithm chatter. We've also got the rewind demon who obsessively dissects a 15-second joke 6 or 7 times in a row. Oh, and the like-dislike flip-flopper who essentially treats a creator's analytics like a live, emotional stock market. But my absolute favorite has to be the Chrome extension guy. This perfectly captures a dude running 17 third-party programs, ad blockers, VPNs, tab suspenders, basically duct taping a custom operating system together just to watch a 9-minute Minecraft Let's Play. The lengths we go to complicate simple viewing are truly staggering. And actually, there's a quote pulled directly from our source that captures this perfectly. If you're listening to this right now in the mini player while doing literally anything else, yeah, this one's about you. Caught you, right? Hey, it's okay. We're all a little guilty of needing just a bit too much stimulation nowadays.
Section 2. Surviving the college ecosystem.
Taking a step out of the digital space and into the physical world, the random college roommate can be a massive roll of the dice. Imagine being trapped in a tiny suite with someone who does this. Step 1. Casually leaving banana peels on a shared rug for weeks until the smell forces you to act. Step 2. Literally leaving tissues with acne pus just sitting around on a desk. And step 3, and this is wild, when finally reported to the RA because this filth was actually getting our narrator sick and costing them thousands of dollars in lost YouTube revenue, the roommate tries to physically fight them. Honestly, it's a miracle anyone survives dorm life with their sanity intact.
But bad roommates are definitely not the only hazards out there. You have the 9 a.m. blackout partier, and they don't just want innocent fun. It's often this deeply destructive drive to bring everyone else down with them, usually because they secretly feel like they have no future. Contrast that with our other major annoyance, the campus content farmer. This represents the sheer modern absurdity of internet creators treating a college campus like a private studio. They try to snipe lonely students on their way to class just to ask them some ridiculous question like, "Who cheats more?" for a viral clip. It is a wildly chaotic ecosystem to navigate. And then, of course, you have the ultimate pressure cooker, exam week. This brings out some very distinct survival strategies. You've got the 10-minute crammer, desperately hoping a downloaded PDF just absorbs into their brain by osmosis right before the bell rings. The perfectionist, aggressively snapping lead onto the paper with 3 backup pencils on standby. The delusional student banking entirely on a mythical online loophole so they don't have to take the test. But the absolute crown jewel of desperation is the stiff-necked cheater. During a webcam-monitored lockdown exam, they genuinely think if they don't move their neck and only move their eyeballs straight down to their dimmed phone, the software somehow won't notice. The utter lack of self-awareness here is just spectacular.
Section 3. The Arby's phenomenon.
Now, what's really interesting about this next part is how we pivot to one of the most oddly unifying internet phenomena, fast food rivalries. Consider a standard McDonald's commercial. It's upbeat, right? You see a happy couple sharing fries, you get a Happy Meal, you leave with a prize. Warm, fuzzy experience. But then, consider the Arby's commercial. As the source hilariously points out, the voiceover guy sounds like he's about to perform a glory kill in a video game. It's this aggressive, almost violating brag that we have the meats.
It feels way less like a dinner invitation and more like a dark, uncomfortable threat you just can't escape from.
And then there is the actual menu, perfectly summed up by its nickname, the Meat Mountain. The absolute visual disgust of this item is described by comparing their massive roast beef to something served in a dystopian hospital cafeteria, where they legally can't even call it food anymore. The Meat Mountain isn't a sandwich, it's a dare. It's a Jenga tower of greasy, collapsing meat that looks like leftover dog food, requiring you to balance it perfectly just so half of it doesn't instantly collapse onto your shirt on the very first bite.
To cap off this incredible rant, the creator makes a final offer to the company. I will endorse Arby's. The only catch is, I need to be allowed to use AI for the actual part of me chewing and swallowing. I absolutely love this punchline. It perfectly punctuates the absurdity of the shared internet hatred.
Section 4. Real Gen Z fears.
Okay, I want to shift gears completely here. Because underneath all the memes and the Arby's jokes, there are deep structural anxieties defining an entire generation. Is Gen Z just being dramatic? People love to write off this generation's anxiety as them just being soft or paranoid. But as the source material compellingly argues, these aren't imaginary fears. They are highly logical reactions to the world they inherited. They're the first generation to watch everything get documented, priced out, automated, and judged in real time. So let's look at the actual data behind this dread.
Look at this staggering number, 21%. A recent survey found that 21% of young respondents believe that World War II is more likely to happen in the next 5 years than them buying a home. Let that sink in. A massive chunk of a generation entering the workforce doesn't even see a realistic path to homeownership.
The math they're facing is completely broken. The median age for a first-time homebuyer hit a record high of 40 years old in 2025. To put that into perspective, if you were 18 in 2024 with an entry-level job, and you turned 19 in 2025, your income basically stayed stagnant. But in just that 1 year, the difficulty of the housing market rose by 5%. Just for the crime of aging a single year, an 18-year-old was mathematically punished with a 5% increase in the difficulty of making an essential life purchase. And it's not just financial. This builds into profound emotional isolation. Despite being supposedly the most connected generation in human history, 70% of Gen Z report feeling lonely or socially isolated. They are statistically the loneliest generation ever recorded. This isn't just introversion, it's a structural disconnection where a massive chunk of young people have few or no friends they can actually rely on. It gets even more concerning when we look at romantic relationships. 44%. That is the percentage of Gen Z men who didn't date at all in their teen years. This creates a really tough isolation loop. And as the source emphasizes, this isn't just an emotional bummer, it has massive, tangible societal consequences. If people don't form relationships, they don't build families. Whole bloodlines stop. The longer you're alone, the more your social skills dull, and normal human connection becomes incredibly intimidating. A huge driver of this isolation is the permanent digital footprint. It starts with quiet social exclusion and constant self-censorship. Think about it. One bad joke from years ago means opportunities just quietly vanish without a confrontation. Because of that, this generation constantly deletes posts and stays silent out of pure fear. Then you add in unrealistic comparisons from feeds filtered with edited photos and ideal body types. Finally, numbers-based attractiveness from dating apps. Your face literally becomes public data, judged instantly by an algorithm before your personality even factors in. Looking unattractive suddenly feels like a permanent mathematical disadvantage rather than just a temporary insecurity. And if the social and financial fears weren't enough, we arrive at this: the AI replacement dread. Just as this generation is trying to learn skills and build careers, software is learning to do it faster, cheaper, and at massive scale. This creates a terrifying environment where human usefulness feels completely temporary. Even competent, hardworking people start to question their value, making them feel highly interchangeable and disposable.
Which brings us to our final question.
Think about everything we've unpacked today. If you spent your life dealing with impossible housing markets, permanent social isolation, terrifying fast food commercials, horrific college roommates, and the looming threat of AI making your career completely obsolete, wouldn't you want to shrink the world down, hide in a YouTube mini player, and just distract yourself too? It all connects perfectly, doesn't it? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this leaves you with a profound new understanding of the modern generation. Until next time.